talking to him to find out how he managed to pull that off. Kojo is a man full of talent. He's ambidextrous. How did he combine all these talents and still make a whopping 4.0 CGPA? And that's a secret, Kojo. You'll be telling us how you did that. We'll be talking to my colleague Victor Kojo Dei to find out more how he's even faring the changes that he's experienced and all that in the United States of America. Kojo, for those who may have known Victor Kojo Dei over here doing his tenure here at CBS as one of a lead news anchors, and he was also good with the camera. That's one thing a lot of people don't really know about Kojo if you've not gotten closer to him. Aside that, Kojo was more of a free thought maker, and there's a lot of interesting things that he himself, I think, is the best person to reveal about himself. Only in the capacity to ask him for him to do so. And remember that we'll be bringing you that conversation in the next few minutes. I've been joined by Victor Kojo Dei on the line. Hello, Kojo. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, Obobi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Good morning.
I said you say bro for some na bapa. Oh, and I know bro for some that I know I could do. That's what I say.
Oh.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah. Thank you for having me this morning.
Kojo, how is the feeling now? I know it's great, but you are the best person to tell us deeper than it's just being great. How is the feeling now?
Well, to be very honest, I'm overwhelmed. I didn't expect anything to blow out of proportion. That's how I describe it. I think it was blown out of proportion. It wasn't expected this way. I thought it was going to be like one of those things. I mean, you just talk about it, and then you realize that there are a lot. I mean, it's going viral, and everybody's calling you. People you don't even expect are calling you, and you go online and you're everywhere. It's a mixed feeling. I can't describe it. So there's an excitement of knowing that, well, you made other people proud. It's not even about myself, but it's about the people I've associated with who are proud of my achievements. And I find that very fulfilling. And then at the other side too, I feel very humbled because I never expected anything like this. So I find it as a humbling experience.
Now, generally, what's life out there like? Is it that we often see in movies our students going out there, you see them in pictures, just as even I see on Facebook page, with the smile and all that. Paint a picture for us.
So if you talk about life, I mean, I don't know if life in general or academic life, but well, how I understand you. I mean, Athens, where Ohio University is, it's in a rural area. It's in rural Ohio. So Ohio University is actually we refer to it as a college town because it's just like the University of Cape Coast, which is situated in the midst of communities. So Ohio University is situated in the Athens community, but for the university, this would have been a very quiet place, countryside town. You will not be expecting to see skyscrapers. If you are traveling from the capital of the state of Ohio, Columbus to Athens, you are going to drive on a stretch of land which is just like maybe traveling somewhere from Sunyani up north. I mean, it's very much more of a countryside. So the environment is also very calm. It's very refreshing. It's very quiet, and not so much as depicted in or so much as you would expect in bigger cities. So Athens is a very humble community, university, college town.
But Kojo, your decision to go to Ohio and even read that particular program, what went into it?
Well, a lot of things. People inspired me. So this time I would like to mention like Dr. Mike Boachi Adom. He is an alumnus of Ohio University. We have my own director at the time, the then director of the Center for African and International Studies, Dr. Alex Wilson. These two people were, I would say, the first inspiration to think about Ohio University because they were there. There are other few people who also attended there, but these people, because I closely worked directly with them, they inspired me a lot. Dr. Michael Boachi has been very phenomenal, very fantastic. In 2018, when Ohio University alumni, some staff from the university have visited the Ghana branch of their alumni, I participated. So it's like there was that long friendship that I had built with Ohio University even before coming here. So I had, since 2018, or I'll say 2016, head of Ohio University. I've read a lot about them, and I had read a lot about their communication and development studies program. So that's, I will say, that was when the dream or the decision to one day be part of the Bobcat family started.
Kojo, now let's look at studying in Ohio and then studying at the University of Cape Coast. What are some of the similarities and what are some of the differences?
Wow. So the similarities, I would say, I mean, it's every university campus is university campus. You see students, there are a lot of fun engagement. Actually, Ohio University is noted as the #1 party university in the United States. Actually, when I was searching about something popular about the school, when I Googled it, the #1 party school. A lot of people have fun, students have fun. I just like, I mean, on University of Cape Coast campus, I hear people talk, oh, there's pressure, but we still do have fun. Those are things that makes it more feel like it's a university community. So that's the same here. But the difference is the learning mode of learning and the mode of teaching, which is quite different because we come from different environments. You get here. Sometimes even the language alone. Let me just talk about the language alone. The language is it's just different. Sometimes your professors are speaking and we also do speak English, but there are English and there are other forms of Englishes, and so you sometimes comprehending becomes a little bit difficult, but then you have to overcome it. The classroom experience is more technologically inclined, and it's more engaging. There's much more reading, there's much more writing. It's so much of activity based learning here, which engages you and I would say take much of your time. So I, for one, think that it is even more demanding here mentally. The studies here at the Ohio University and in the US, because you talk to other people in other US universities and they share similar experiences. So for me here, it's I see it's much more demanding than I experienced at the University of Cape Coast.
I know, of course, the University of Cape Coast prepared you, but 4.0, Kojo, that's magnificent. Did you have any sort of social? Because I know in Ghana, social life, but over there, talking about it being mentally engaging and all that, were you doing your photography? Did you put all that aside just to make the 4.0?
Okay, that's a brilliant question. I think the 4.0, the Outstanding Student Award is usually given to students who maintain that 4.0 and still have other community engagement. That actually makes you the outstanding student. So you may have other students who may have 4.0 in the department with me. There may be other people because I remember when my program director was announcing, he said there were other people who were also on the same level. But what makes me outstanding is that I was engaged in extracurricular activities and I still maintain that. So I wasn't just a classroom person. Uh, I know sometimes my friends, even on campus, ask me, Kojo, it looks like you actually did come to the US. You're really enjoying. That's what they say because I try to put that glamorous picture out there for people to think, oh, I mean, everything is all right, but it's mentally demanding. I was the president for the Communication Development Student Association. I served as a president. I am a member of the Graduate Student Senate. That is the highest decision making body for the graduate school. I represent my college, or say the center, and through the Graduate Student Senate, I serve on about seven committees in the university, Ohio University, representing the Graduate Student Senate. And these committees that I serve on, we meet literally every other week. So you see, it's not just about the books. I'm engaged in so many other. I'm a member, executive member of the International Student Union. Last Saturday, we organized a street fair. Actually, it was a week-long program, which I was actively involved in organizing. So in on campus, I do a lot of things outside the classroom experience. So it's not just not having a social life. I do have a social life. I do so many things that is outside the classroom, which is community centered. So that it shouldn't be like I just neglected everything and I was just reading, and that makes it much more surprising to me myself because when I got to the US and for this program, I wasn't thinking of okay, I'm going to get a 4.0 when I leave. What I was thinking of was to maintain the standard, the level that you don't lose your funding because you have to be 3.0 and above to maintain your funding. Once you are above 3.0, you are good to go. And so that was my goal was like my best should not fail me. I should not go beyond this to lose my funding. And that's it. That's all I cared about. But I never cared about trying to being the topmost or being recognized in this way. So it just came as a surprise. It just happened as it is.
Well, if you're still listening to the Atlantic Wave live on ATL FM and you're watching us on Facebook, we're interacting with an alumnus of the University of Cape Coast, Victor Kojo Dei. He is the outstanding student in the Center for International Affairs and Communications and Development program, where he amassed a 4.0. Kojo, let's look at your success. What did you sacrifice to get to where you are?
Well, I think a lot. I until I got to the US, that's when I realized that international students who leave their home country to study outside, to study in a different country, do sacrifice a lot, but you don't get to understand it until you get here. That is when you really realize that you've really, really, really sacrificed a lot because you are sacrificing your community. Once you have the admission, you are excited because you put in a lot to it. Okay, you are going to the US. I mean, everybody is talking about the US, so you are very much excited. And then you get here and then you realize that no, because as an international student, the reality starts hitting you when you're on campus, where you feel the sense of detachment from your loved ones. You feel that this is a very different individualistic society. Not to say that you don't get help. I mean, the people here are very wonderful, awesome. They would want to come to your help anytime you need. I mean, they are very lovely, welcoming people. But then you get traditionally and naturally, the Western lifestyle is what people would want to be by themselves. People want to have their own privacy. So, but this is so much different from somewhere like me coming from Africa, where you'd want to be, I mean, talking to anybody, engaging. Sometimes you meet people at meetings, and then once you close the meeting and you're going, I mean, you meet the same person at a different place other than the meeting space. It's like you don't even know each other. So you realize that, oh, this is very different. Even the food alone, the food is another one. You don't get the kind of food that you are used to. Athens, for example, is, like I said, a very rural white community. So it is even though we have the university here, which is a diverse campus in terms of some food and stuff like that, if you need African food, you need to travel about an hour and 30 minutes to Columbus to get them. So you've sacrificed those ones. Ties with your families, the friendships that you built around, you sacrifice all these things. The weather comes, and then you are just confused, because if it's your first experience, like winter, for instance, and here winter will not stop classes from happening unless it is determined as very severe. Then you have the weather forecasters advising that classes should be cancelled. Otherwise, the mere fact that it is snowing and it's cold doesn't stop you. You have classes early in the morning, and you have to walk through, and then you feel the the cold, like, or freezing, and then you realize that there are a lot of comfort that you have sacrificed. So in terms of sacrifice, the decision for me to even travel is a huge sacrifice. Your comforts, the comforts that you would have had, the environment that you were used to, that you were so much comfortable with, you move out of that, is a huge sacrifice.
Now, Kojo, as part of your way forward, let me ask first question. Do you still have dreams of doing broadcasting, or you are doing total academia? And I think that would dovetail into whether you still want to pursue a PhD, and then what you'd want to do.
Well, I mean, I usually joke in class. I say, once a journalist, always a journalist, and you may not necessarily have to sit behind the console. I mean, for media, is my current research interest is in health communication and mental health among international students, which is also something that needs advocacy, media advocacy, to champion. And so the experiences that I've had in the media landscape is definitely going to be used in this regard. So I may not necessarily have to be like a journalist, just going for like a reporter as I used to do before. But in the media landscape, I don't think I'm ever going to leave the media landscape. Whatever I'm doing, it will be interlaced with the media, even if I have to go into academia. Right now, I'm more research-based. I'm engaged in intensive research. And so that is where the focus is right now, to get through with my so official ceremony for the graduation is in May, and then I will have to continue to the next level, which is the PhD. But then, like I said, the PhD does not just pin me to being in academia, so I'm just in academia, but I'm definitely going to have a blend of both the media, use the media experiences to advance my research interest and goal.
But what are the prospects within the research industry over there, vis-a-vis combining that with the with media, as you put it?
Yeah, so like I said, my research right now is I'm focusing on international, how mental health resource facilities here at the Ohio University. Let me put it, I don't want to quote exactly my research, but I want to give a general overview about it. I'm looking at how Ghanaian students at the Ohio University, how their perception about mental health in Ghana, so how our traditional understanding of mental health, how does that influence those who are studying in the US to utilize mental health facilities here. When you come to the US, the universities have these mental health resource facilities that are to attend to students' well-being when people are going through psychological stress. But usually, the international students who are here, we go through a different form of mental health challenge that goes beyond what the domestic student goes through. But do these international students usually utilize the facilities available to them? If they are using it, what is encouraging them to use? If they are not, what is it? Is there any way? Is there a way where their beliefs and practices from their home country affect the way they think about mental health resource facilities when they come here? So that is what I have started right now working on. I'm done with the work. Actually, later today, I'll be presenting to the entire university. The university is having what we call the Research Expo, where it showcases the students' research work they do. I'll be showcasing that research work there. So basically, that is it. And issues relating with mental health, like I said, needs the media advocacy as part, aside what we will expect from policymakers. The media is also very much essential in this. So that's why I'm saying that talking about the media and the kind of research trajectory that I have taken, certainly I will need the media to even advance research findings. I'll need the media to talk to or communicate to policymakers to act on them. So, yeah, that's it.
Kojo, my last two questions, and the first one: to what extent has the foundation from UCC played a role in your success story?
Oh, enormous, a lot. Enormous. I remember some time ago, I attended a program at the College of Distance Education. That was during the time of Professor Didi Kumpoli, and he made a statement, and it still sticks with me. He was like, no matter how bad you think the University of Cape Coast has treated you, no matter how bitter you are about the university, always remember that it is this university that gave you your first degree for you to be able to continue to the next level. So, but for the University of Cape Coast, for if anything at all, I had my first degree at the University of Cape Coast. I had a master's there, another master's there. And when I was applying, I used these certificates to apply. I didn't use my senior high school certificate. It was the University of Cape Coast certificate that gave the Ohio University the assurance that, oh, I'm coming from a recognized university. So if anything at all, that is. But it goes beyond that. My community engagement, the being resilient academically, and by this I just want to thank the Center for African International Studies, where I had both my first degree and master's from. The faculty there are very awesome. They are very excellent, and for me, they gave us the foundation to always think of pursuing academic excellence, and it was the same thing that I put across. So when I came here, because I already had this master's program, even though it was tough, I already had some hands-on training in terms of research. And so I realized that I was much more better off than those who had just come directly from the undergraduate level. So the University of Cape Coast is home. And those who follow me on social media knows that every day I talk about the University of Cape Coast. And I am proud to be an old student. And I have joined the Old Student Association here in the US. When the Vice Chancellor came here, I met him. I was excited, and I've always been a proud member. And I talk about UCC everywhere I go.
I think you've started answering my last question in my mind already. Your association with the alumni and how that will serve as a trump card for you to do sort of your advocacy to your other colleagues and friends way back in Ghana.
Yeah, so like the alumni association here is a great body. Honestly, when I came, I knew that it existed. There was one that existed here, but I didn't know how to join until when the Vice Chancellor and the delegation visited some schools here in the US, and then someone told me, Dr. Michael Boachi-Adam told me that the team is coming. I contacted Dr. Eugene Kwatson-Nentry, who was my professor, com skills professor when I was in first year, and I met up with them, and then we met the team. It was really fun, and also I realized that there were great connections that could be built in terms of getting people who are in the US together, apart from the fact that we are just from the University of Cape Coast, that connections where people can also rely on each other for help. Because if I know that this is a colleague who was also an old student of this university, if in case I'm in any dire need, I have somebody to rely on. I have somebody to fall on. So with Alumni Association and the role they play in terms of fostering unity, in terms of projecting the values of the University of Cape Coast and being great ambassadors to the university wherever we find ourselves, I think is very, very important. And that's why I find myself very fortunate and privileged to be part of the Alumni Association here at the in the US.
Kojo, this is on the lighter side. When you're returning, will you be returning with Mrs. Kojo Dei?
So yesterday I shared this. I said, when people were congratulating me, and I said, well, this was not part of the plan. It was never part of the plan to graduate as an outstanding student. The part of what was very important for me was to get a degree and a wife. And now I have the degree, I don't have the wife yet. So I'm still looking for.
Could your concluding remarks, and you can attend to other important duties as well.
Please, can you come again?
I'm saying your concluding remarks so you can make time to attend to other important activities. My
concluding remarks is I want to thank everybody, the University of Cape Coast as the whole institution. Thank you, UCC, for all that you've done for me, for getting me the light. Yeah, in light we shall be light. And thanks to ATLFM, because you are a great family. Mr. Kwabdenchi Kunedu, a happy belated birthday wish to you yesterday. It was, I think, this dawn when I was getting ready for this, and I was just going through that, because yesterday my social media platforms were just people tagging me. Then I saw managers post there, happy birthday, belated birthday wish to him, and to thank him for the training, the making ATLFM home for us and someone like me, passing through the system to gain a hands-on experience that we need. And then to Dr. Michael Boachi-Adom, who's the Director General for IEP. He has been very phenomenal and instrumental, not just to me alone. There are quite a lot of students here at the Ohio University and other parts in the US from the University of Cape Coast, which is helping, has helped in so many ways for them to get here. He's doing exceedingly well, and he needs to be recognized and also applauded. And to my Center for African and International Studies, Dr. Alex Wilson, Professor Yayo, Dr. Saboro, and Dr. Eva Kwansa, all of them, I mean, they played a huge role in what I am today and whatever I am becoming. And to the entire family at ATL, I do miss all of you. Professor Udro, George Katie Udro, he's also been very instrumental. He gave me an advice, because if you want to pursue an academia, find, couch and niche for yourself and pursue it well, and you will excel. All these encouragements have contributed to who I am. And the final word is that in all things that you do, I mean, strive for the best, but make sure that your best do not fail you.
Good, I love your final words, but I would really love the final words specifically to your colleagues here in CBS.
Yeah, if I miss everybody. I'm right now, as I'm talking to you and looking into the studio, I have that great nostalgia of me sitting in there and reading the news in the morning. And sometimes when I go to someone will just call me and say, "Could I hear your voice on radio? I mean, some of the jingles, and you are gone, but your voice is still here." And I say, "Yeah, I mean, away from home away from home." I'm particularly thankful to everybody who I worked with at ATLFM, who made ATLFM a haven for me to succeed, home for me to feel comfortable to work. To all of you, you are part of the of who Kojo Dei is, and of who Kojo Dei is becoming, and of who Kojo Dei will become. So I miss all of you, and I'm looking forward to come back to CBS, come and see the family, which will be very soon. Eja Cosmos, yeah, Eja Cosmos, a special mention to Eja Cosmos, yeah. Yeah.
Kojo, it's been an interesting conversation with you, and wish you all the best in the rest of your endeavors. We heard from our former colleague here at the Campus Broadcasting Services, Victor Kojo Dei, who is also an alumnus of the University of Cape Coast, and he is the outstanding student in the Master of Communication and Development program of the Center for International Studies, Ohio University in the United States of America. Remember that the issue segment was brought to us by Sargent Medical Center, where they offer comprehensive eye care service, corporate eye and ENT service, including sale of contact lenses. You can locate Sargent Medical Center opposite Wesley Girls Senior High School, Kakumdo, here in Cape Coast, or call them on 0332 091 232 or send them an email via sargent@gmail.com for further enquiries. Up next is Newspeg. Stay with us.